Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Maxwell DeMille speaking. And now it's time for our tropical fashion parade, courtesy of Valentino's Costumes. And here to tell you all about the wonderful fashion parade, Mr. Sean LeBlanc of Valentino's Costumes.
Thank you. Well, hello, everybody. Are we having a good time tonight? Isn't it fabulous? It's a great club. I'm Sean LeBlanc. I am the owner of Valentino's Costumes, and we are one of two costume shops represented here tonight. The other one is the wardrobe wing, and we have a fun evening planned for you guys. Now, a few quick things before we begin. When we were here last time and did the show, we had a lot of people asking if they could buy pieces from us. So tonight, we've actually brought in some things you can buy. Upstairs in the lounge, we have set up an area with jewelry, and all the jewelry on the models, male and female, is for sale. So guys, if you screwed up yesterday, this is your chance to make it up. Secondly, we are thinking about doing some period classes and seminars because everyone that comes here has a good time. We'd like to enhance the experience. In the front and at the table upstairs, we have a few surveys, and if you would fill those out for us and let us know if you like some of the ideas we're throwing out there. Give us some of the ideas you have, and we'd be really happy to see if we can make these things happen, okay? We planned this evening with something kind of different. Most times when you do a fashion show, you see a lot of pretty dresses, things like that. We as costumers have some wonderful things stored away in our costume shops. And so this is a time when we can bring out some unusual pieces, and that's what tonight is about, the unusual and the fun. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to take you on a tropical trip. We're going to have a tropical travelogue. So, okay, picture this. We're at Santa Monica, Palm Beach, Bermuda, Tahiti, and Diamond Head. Someplace warm. Yes, of course, I would be the only one bold enough to put bathing suits on the stage of the Cicada Club.
When you get tired of holding hands, you write love letters in the golden sand. Every time a wave comes in to kiss,
our models are decked out in beach and resort wear.
For you to kiss and kiss some
Richie,
more.
Isaac, and Casey are decked out in three styles of swimsuits. And Tris, Julie, and July play suits and leisure wear along with Tony. Now Casey wears a one-piece wool bathing suit with a retro watch by Fossil. This type of suit was very typical from the 1920s and the 1930s. Now Tris is off on an island sightseeing tour in this casual ensemble. Navy blue gabardine trousers are paired with a pale tan blouse, and everything is accented in lettuce green. Check out those two-tone brogues she's wearing. Because we wanted to make her a little bohemian, we've given her a beautiful crystal necklace, and there are little segments in there, and each little segment represents the four seasons. Now Julie is in tropical elegant with this navy blue palazzo jumpsuit with polka dot trim. The large straw-brimmed hat reminds us of Scarlett O'Hara Down with the Wind. We have chosen to accent the outfit with an Asian theme. The stunning copper bracelet with an animal portrait and Chinese character earrings. Now pieces like this would have been popular in the 1920s up until World War II and reappeared in the 1950s. Now Richie and Isaac both wear trunks. And these are appropriate for beaches where men could actually go topless. Because there were laws, okay? And many communities did not allow men to go bare-chested. They didn't allow ladies to go bare-legged. By the 1940s, of course, this had all changed. Richie wears a maroon knit trunk with striped belt and a gold-toned watch by Timex. And Isaac wears a blue suit by Catalina that sports a sterling silver clasp by Stone. Now our main girl, July, and that's not the month, that's her name, guys, is a pink placesuit in velvet print with a red belt. This outfit is perfect for round tennis, cycling, or just a stroll on the beach. Again, we accented the theme of beach and jewelry. A mahjong tile bracelet and an enamel ring, which is absolutely amazing. we've given her a little bit of daytime glam, which is kind of fun. Now, Tony is our California casual man. In a white side lace short cotton duck, we have paired this with a rayon print shirt with red and gold medallions. He wears a signet ring in sterling silver with amethyst-colored stones, and this completes his tropical look. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you Tropical Casual. Now we have a few little fun facts as I'm going to throw in as we go here. First of all, Betsy Potter, who is the owner of the wardrobe wing, is not with us tonight, but she is actually working on making period shoes. And with the upcoming Oscars next week, if you watch the pre-show, you're actually going to see some of the dresses from Valentino's costumes and some from the wardrobe wing. And we actually built some dresses for the show too. Look for the people who are the talent wranglers. We're actually dressing the crew for the Oscars. This is our second year. Now I'd like to continue our journey through Sarasota, Santa Anita, Pismo Beach, and the Polo Range and Polo Lounge. I think too many times the daytime look is really overlooked, forgotten altogether. People go and they go, let's think evening wear, let's think the kind of glamour things. Well, I think you're going to agree with me, we have done some beautiful daytime ensembles. Now, our spectators gather to watch events such as film stars playing Hollywood Beverly Hills, noteworthy athletes of the day swimming, playing tennis, or golfing, and of course, the greatest athlete of the 1930s, Seabiscuit. Heidi Turner's head in this stunning floral seersucker dress and jacket combination, a brown straw hat, bakelite buttons, an enamel 3D brooch, pearl earrings, and dainty deco watch, cord strap complete her ensemble. Now, Barney is dapper in this unusual white linen suit with black flecks. Most people are going to think of a white suit as just that, white. But remember, we're showing the unusual. Also, the shirts on the show are all French cuffs, so we can show fantastic cuff lengths. Barney's are 1930s frosted raspberry, and we've given him a deco-style watch, and one of my favorite hats of all time, the Optima. Now, continuing our breezy look is Susie. Susie looks delicate in this blue and white cotton floral dress with white organdy trim. We've jazzed her up just a bit with blue rhinestone glitz, earrings, brooch, and we've even custom painted her spectators and handbag to match the ensemble. Now, you may have noticed we've done a little bit of blue and white in the show so far, but we're going to mix it up just a tiny bit right now. So here goes. Antonio strikes a dashing pose with our polo player fresh off the field. White jodhpurs of cotton twill and a sage silk polo shirt. Yes, this is where the polo shirts come from. Tall boots and a pith helmet complete his look. You might ask him if his lapis ring was from an admirer, but I don't think he's talking. Our golfer Ludwig cuts a fine figure on the links. This is a traditional style with knickers and cap. I actually had the matching tall socks and sweaters vest made for a show, and I think they're kind of fun. It's always something I want to do. I think you'll agree with me. They're a lot of fun. Again, we have a French cut shirt, this time showing deco gold and topaz colored rhinestone. Ladies and gentlemen, may we present tropical sportswear and daywear. Now, I'm also going to let you know another little fun fact, dirty secret number 3. Perry Ash, one of our coordinators here, was actually the head of the workroom on the soap opera Passions. Morocco, Casablanca, Algiers, Buenos Aires, don't you conjure up visions of tango dancers under a moonlit sky? Well, we do. So here we are with tropical evening wear.
Who writes the words of music for all the girly shows?
You all know Ginger Polly and her husband Nathan. You can see Ginger here tonight at the after party. And you can see her on March 8th singing with her band. And right now they evoke Fred and Ginger classically. Ginger wears a black feather gown and a large Eisenberg rhinestone pin set in sterling and lots of rhinestone accessories. Nathan is the most formal of formal wear, white tie and tails. The tails are a midnight blue. This color first made its appearance in menwear in the 1930s. A gold pocket watch and chain, blue paste cufflinks complete his ensemble. Bobby and Jessica heat up the tropical night in his classic elegance. Bobby wears a black double-breasted tux from 1937. Detachable wing collar and a bib front shirt. His cufflinks are elegant pearl with white filigree surround. Jessica wears a tea black floral gown with deep purple accents. Crystal rhinestones make her shimmer like the moon on the bay. Maureen is breathtaking in this one-shoulder leopard evening gown. Topaz-colored earrings and leopard bangles are the perfect accessories. Watch out, boys, she's on the prowl. Now, Charlene actually made me stop and gasp when I saw her at the shop in this dress. It was incredibly stunning. It's a silk satin floral evening gown, very, very elegant. We've added pearls, and we've added rhinestones in pink and red. Ladies and gentlemen, tropical glamour. Another fun fact, we own about 60,000 costumes at Valentino's. Now we know everybody loves the party, and we're no exceptions. So please join us, because we have Francesca all dolled up as Carmen Miranda, that leads us to Mardi Gras, Carnival, and the Carnival of Venice. Or not. It was a quick change, okay? We're changing like 10 people up there. There we go. All right, big hand, we got them changed. Now we pulled all sorts of wonderful fun costumes here for this end of the day party. All kinds of things that evoke Carnival, Mardi Gras, the Carnival of Venice, a great masquerade, and wonderful movies. Hope you all enjoyed this, because we've had a lot of fun doing it. I'm looking forward to it all week. Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.
Let's have a big hand for Sean and Valentino's costumes.
the new carioca. Its theme is a kiss and a sigh. You'll dream of a new carioca when music and lights are gone and we're saying goodbye.
While you're dancing, it's continental, very continental. You sing while you're dancing, your voice is gentle and sentimental. You'll know before the dance is through that you're in love with her and she's in love with you. You'll find that you're dancing, that there's a rhythm in your heart and soul, a certain rhythm that you can't control, and you will do the continental all the time. Beautiful music, dangerous rhythm.
double dare you to lend me your ear. Take off your high hat and let's get friendly. Don't be a scare cat. Say what you care. Can't you take a dare? I double dare you to kiss me, and then I double dare you to kiss me again. And if that look in your eyes means what I'm thinking of, I double dare you to fall in love with me. I double dare you
again, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for our special added attraction. Here they are after winning the dance team competition at Camp Hollywood. Please welcome, if you will, 1-2 Swing Jitterbugs. Ladies and gentlemen, 1-2 Swing Jitterbugs. Thank you very much, Bugs. It was jitterbuggerific. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we continue our musical tribute to the long-lost, long-gone Coconut Grove at the Ambassador Hotel. Please welcome again your show announcer, Mr. Dayton Purcell.
Music in the trees, music in the breeze, music in the seas, music everywhere. And here's Dean Mora and his orchestra with Music in My Fingers. Banned from radio airplay in 1931, here's Cole Porter's enticing melody from the Broadway musical The New Yorkers entitled Love for Sale.
Dean Mora and his orchestra. Thank you. Say, folks, I'd just like to let you know that Dean Mora and his orchestra features a very special player. Yes, that's right, I'm talking about Mr. Daniel Glass, the drummer extraordinaire stuck back in the corner. Now, last week we had Daniel Glass here with the Rhythm Club All-Stars, and we featured lots of divas. However, Mr. Glass also plays with that fabulous band, Royal Crown Review. I'm sure folks have heard of that band as well. I'm here to let you know that Royal Crown Review will be appearing live at the Sereno Center for the Performing Arts Saturday, March 14th. So if you're interested, there's some information outside. You can take that and find out all about Mr. Glass and his appearance with that band. Thank you. Also, ladies and gentlemen, in the band is none other than the magical mouth and mysterious music and mayhem, Mr. Jim Ziegler on the horn. Among the many other players, I can't take the time to introduce all of them or we would be here till 4 in the morning. But now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Dayton Purcell.
Thank you, Mr. DeMille. Dean, I understand you have a special treat for us.
Yes, I do. I just wanted to let you all know, of course, that the music you're listening to were tunes that were actually performed at the Coconut Grove during its heyday of the 1920s and 1930s. Some of these are transcriptions taken off of the original commercial recordings as well as live radio broadcasts. It's very interesting to hear some of these recordings with the crowd whooping it up in the background. So some of these arrangements are exactly as would have been heard back then, circa 1931-32. And for that, we are thankful for the record collector, Jim Bedoyan, for supplying these recordings for me to transcribe. Thanks, Jim. And now this next selection is actually from a gentleman whose band played approximately 1 week at the Coconut Grove in 1929, Herman Kennan. Yes, the memorable Herman Kennan and his Ambassador Hotel Orchestra from 1929. This is April. It's called He's a Good Man to Have Around. And it was actually song sung by Sophie Tucker in the 1929 film Honky Tonk. So a little film plug, as it were. So here we go with He's a Good Man to Have Around. Dayton?
Thank you, Dean. Here we go with He's a Good Man to Have Around.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. He's a good man to have around. And you know what? That recording, and I will do this as a shameless plug, is available on a collection of recordings entitled Devil's Serenade. In fact, They're being sold this very minute by Lola, our scrumptious cigarette girl. Come on up here. Coming up here, they can take a closer look at the CDs. That's what they are. Right here, Devil's Serenade, available for sale at the Depression-era price of only $10. So we only have those plus all our others. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry, we digress from our regular program. Dayton.
It has been said that he who yearned to see every movie star in Hollywood should spend a few nights in the world-famous Coconut Grove at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. For it is here that the popular stars of Hollywood dance to the music of Dean Mora and his orchestra with that ever-popular toe tapper, Singin' in the Rain.
Singing in the rain, what a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I walk down the lane with a happy refrain and singing, just singing in the rain.
Dean Mora and his orchestra guide the dancing feet of the most famous screen and stage celebrities of the world as we continue now our visit to the Coconut Grove, where the movie colony's brightest stars twinkle in a dazzling array of beauty and charm. Well, it's time to dance, even if you don't know what you're doing.
you wouldn't be doing what you're doing to me. Oh, you don't know what you're saying when you say that you are playing. Oh, you wouldn't be saying you are playing with me. Oh, you never treat me right every night I'm alone. You don't even put no wonder I'm sighing, crying. You're driving me to ruin. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing to me.
Say, folks, why not try a tempting cocktail courtesy of Max, the benignly belligerent bartender? Just a few steps up to the mezzanine bar or by elevator courtesy of Kid Watson, our trained elevator boy, will take you to a thirst-quenching land of delightful libations. Tonight we suggest the once forbidden absinthe, now legal for your drinking pleasure. Watch your drink prepared right before your eyes thanks to our vintage absinthe fountain used exclusively at the Cicada Club by Max, the benignly belligerent bartender. And now, we present the theme song of Mr. Xavier Cugat, who has led his Latin band alternating with Phil Harris's orchestra at the Coconut Grove. Here's My Shawl. It is time to dance. So now we present you with a positive arrangement of a doubtful tune, I Can't Believe That You're in Love With Me. Miss Care Morrison is the doubting Thomas, or should we say, Thomasette.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe that you're in love with me. The Coconut Grove featured the Orchestra of Gus Arnheim that helped to launch many a performer's career, ladies and gentlemen. Most famous among them, the beloved Bing Crosby, who got a massive push in the music business when Crosby's Rhythm Boys recorded a handful of songs with the Arnheim Band. Here to tell us a little bit more is Bing Crosby's favorite nephew, Mr. Johnny Holiday.
Thank you, Mr. DeMille. And good evening, everybody. And I want to first tell you that I am Bing Crosby's nephew, and I am Johnny Holiday, and I had the pleasure of spending about 5-6 years living with Bing up in Hillsborough. And we talk quite often about those wonderful days that he remembered at the Coconut Grove. And I have to say, when I was sitting having dinner tonight, and I heard Dean and this incredible, wonderful orchestra, that I will tell you, you will not hear the likes of this anywhere else in the West Coast, let alone in New York. This is it. And I want to tell you, Bing talked quite a bit about coming down to Los Angeles, and Mildred Bailey gave him a place to stay. He and Harry Barris, Al Rinker hooked up, became the Rhythm Boys. Down the street at the $1 Million Theater was Paul Whiteman performing. He had a talent scout who heard Bing in the group, hired them. Bing missed a few rehearsals, had a little too much to drink, and left him back here in California. Band went back to the East. They got a job with Abe Frank at the Coconut Grove. And years ago, Anthony Quinn told me a great story that he used to listen to the big band remotes coming from the Coconut Grove, and remembered hearing Bing. And later in my life, Smith, I can't remember his first name, used to host a game show, but he was one of the 3 ambassadors that sang Jack Smith, right. So Jack Smith and Bing had the same recollections of those wonderful days. In fact, Russ Colombo used to play violin in Arnheim's orchestra, and the music tonight is very, 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 very good and extremely authentic. And when I heard earlier those opening notes of Sweet and Lovely, I had to say, I felt like we were going right there. Thank you very much, and I know that Bing would very, very much appreciate the fact that to this day, you can still hear him here at the Cicada Club, thanks to fine people like Mr. DeMille, Dean, and this incredible orchestra. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Mr. Johnny Holiday. And now to sing one of Bing Crosby's very popular tunes that he made famous at the legendary Coconut Grove, here's Damon Kirsch with One More Time.
Let me do the things that I used to do. Let me sit down to some tea for two. One more time, just one more time. You can bawl me out, you can call me names if you let me play those parlor games. One more time, just one more time. Eating all alone, being all alone's making me lazy. Walking all alone, talking all alone's driving me crazy. One more time, just one more time. You can spend my dough, you can drink my gin, you can snap the lock if you let me in. One more time.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a shame. Someone has evidently done wrong by our own Care Morrison. She tells us all about it under the title, You Took Advantage of Me.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I would take a brief break from our usual dance number to thank a number of folks who have made this possible. And I do like to introduce the members of the orchestra. It will only take a brief moment. On the saxophone section, we have Matt Germain, Jeff Nudell, and Phil Krozak. In the brass section, we have Jim Ziegler, Roy Wiegand, and Dave Ryan. In the string section, we have Terry Glennie, Gene Sudbury, and Benny Brightern. On the rhythm section, we have Daniel Glass, John Reynolds, and Jim Garofalo. And filling in my place on piano, we thank him very much for being here, Mr. Richard Gere. Mr. Richard Gere? No, not that one. He knows, not that one. And of course, our wonderful vocalists, Damon Kirsch and Care Morrison. Would also like to acknowledge the fact that a number of us had gotten the bug of playing 1920s and 1930s dance music through employment by Mr. Johnny Crawford and his dance orchestra. It was this month, 15 years ago, that I joined his band playing Thursday nights at the Atlas Bar and Grill in the Wiltern building 15 years ago. And a lot of these fellows were there at that time, and so that's how we all got that bug of presenting this type of music, and so we're very happy. And Johnny, if you're watching, hello. And we thank, again, Mr. Dayton Purcell for providing the announcements, and I do want to note that the majority of what he is saying tonight has been transcribed directly from the radio broadcast, provided courtesy of Jim Bedoin from his transcriptions of 1931, 32, and 33. So now we will give you back a glimpse into the past with the vocal stylings of Dayton Purcell. Sir.
We invite you now to glide on a magical moonbeam of dreams across our dance floor with a wonderful waltz. From the Gold Diggers of 1933, we present for you, dancing pleasure and approval, the Harry Warren and Al Dubin delight, the Shadow Waltz.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Shadow Waltz, courtesy of Dean Mora and his orchestra. For those of you watching this broadcast around the world, we'd like to let you know that we do this each and every Sunday just for you, ladies and gentlemen. Next Sunday here at the Cicada Club will be Richard Halpin's Roaring 20s Review. And say, folks, no cover charge. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's our show announcer, Mr. Dayton Purcell.
Say, folks, time for one more number tonight. Here's a curious 1930 treatment of a song from 1910, courtesy of the arranger, Archie Blyer, Steamboat Bill.
Dean Mora and his orchestra. Ladies and gentlemen, we have presented to you our musical tribute at the Coconut Grove at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. We hope to have brought you a few pleasurable moments in that glamorous place so long ago and far away. The club and the hotel are gone, but the music lives on. And for that, please thank Dean Mora and his orchestra with Kerr Morrison and Damon Kirsch. For now, this is Maxwell DeMille wishing you all the best of good luck and good evening.
You've been watching A Night at the Cicada Club, brought to you each and every week by means of electronic television.
Well, you talked us into it. Again, thanks to everyone behind me who have been making this music for all these years, for various band leaders, including myself. Also, thank those band leaders that were held residency at the Coconut Grove, and that was Art Hickman, Abe Lyman, Gus Arnheim, Jimmy Greer, Phil Harris, Ted Fiorito, and later on with Freddie Martin and his orchestra. And of course, one last big thank you to my long-suffering wife, Renda Ray, who without her, I am nothing. Thank you very much. And we'll now end this off with Happy Feet.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dean Mora and his orchestra. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that will be attending the after party at the OVI Penthouse, we will be opening the elevator in about 15 minutes in the patio lobby. And now, here's Dayton Purcell.
You've been watching A Night at the Cicada Club, brought to you each and every week by means of electronic television. Join us next time for Richard Halpern's Roaring Twenties Review. This is yours truly, Dayton Purcell, for the Dumont Television Network.